Greetings, my name is Scott McGurn. Today I want to talk about why is true love better than ego. Now you've heard me juxtapose these two things before, and I want to put a different take on it because in this world it's very difficult to get through to people. The average person, they say, has an 8-second attention span. It used to be half an hour, now it's 8 seconds. And what makes it worse is people today have a lot of pain. They're going to psychiatrists, they're taking pills, they can't shake their pain. And what they do is they go into a deep denial about their pain. Now when you go into denial about your pain, yes, it does reduce your pain in a way, but it also reduces an equal amount of joy. So what you've done is you've diluted your pain, you've diluted your joy, and all you're left with is apathy. If you've tried to talk to anybody in today's society about anything important, you know what apathy looks like. People are so apathetic. They're lost in a combination of denial and apathy. I don't know which is worse. I think it's a combination of the two, and it's like a plague. What I want to do is today. Now, in the last video I made the analogy of, the ego is always chasing the same four things: the money, the property, the status, the empty gratification. And I mentioned, okay, gold bars in a bank. You've got all these gold bars in a bank and they sit there in the bank. Well, I think we understand how being a loving person, letting yourself grow as a person, having actual relationships is better, because you're actually doing some good for yourself and everybody else every single day. This has much greater value than simple gold bars in a bank. But people don't understand. They still don't get it. So I want to take it, and I want to use some visualization, all right? Visualize that true love looks like a gold bar. Okay, you know what a gold bar looks like from TV. Maybe you have one, most people don't, but you know what it is. Imagine that if you do something really loving and good for somebody else, that's like a gold bar. That fills your life with joy. It fills everybody. It blesses the world and makes the world a better place than it was before. Imagine this as a gold bar. Now imagine this gold bar going in a special account for you in heaven. Now we've all heard the expression treasure in heaven. Don't build up treasure in this world, as the Lord said. Build up treasure in heaven, because everything we build up in this world, as far as earthly treasures, well, we have to leave that behind when we leave. If you have this gold bar, which isn't gold, it's love, and you have that as like an RSP in heaven for when you leave this world. Now, people put a lot of time, effort, and investment into their RSPs. Okay, well, why do they do that? Well, they do that because they believe they're going to live long enough to retire, and most do, and they have plans for that, and so they put some money aside. Some people don't. A lot of people tell themselves they're never going to get old, and well, that's a form of denial. Even more people tell themselves that they're never going to die, and that's an even bigger form of denial. Now, if you've got any resources at all, or even if you don't, it still makes sense to think about retirement, and it also makes sense to think about leaving this world. Okay, well, maybe you're very wealthy. Maybe you've got a stack of gold bars in a bank. Okay, what is your treasure in heaven? Because if you go out of this world, let's say you're an ego-based person. Now, ego diminishes relationships. Okay, to the ego, nobody who is an ego-based person is ever really going to be able to love you. It's not in them to do it. It's not part of their thought process. Okay? They will appreciate what they can gain from having you in their lives. Whether it's a marriage, whether it's your child, the parent, ego, they see the child as a competitor, but at the same time they see the child as property. They can benefit from what the child can do for them in regard to their status. Look at my kid, he's better than yours. There is no relationship there. Nobody with ego-based parents has a relationship with the parent. It's just not there. There's no relationship there at all. So if you're an ego-based person, yeah, you might get money. I mean, you can be a loving person and still have money. But if you're an ego-based person, if you do have money, that's all you're going to have. So when you leave this world, you're going to be leaving with a karmic debt. In other words, instead of having treasure for yourself in heaven, having given no thought to that in your life, and suffered all the days in your life because of it, you now leave this world with a karmic debt. So you're not going to a better place. If you believe in reincarnation, I do, you're going to come back as some prostitute in Mozambique. You're going to have a disadvantage because you're going to be the ugly prostitute. And just like nobody liked you in this life, nobody's going to like you then either. And you're going to be in a bad way. Why? Because you never could put two and two together. Maybe you were really smart, but you couldn't add two and two together, because two and two adds up to the fact that you're going to die someday. Everybody does. What you need is to have treasure in heaven. 2 and 2 equals 4. Get some treasure in heaven. Okay? Do you understand that 2 and 2 equals 4? Do you understand that if you don't get treasure in heaven, it's not going to be there when you leave this world? Do you understand that? Can you comprehend? I know you can comprehend a gold bar in a bank here. Can you comprehend love as a bar in heaven? Can you do that? Are you so lost in denial that it is beyond your comprehension to understand that? And to understand that if you go through life never comprehending that, never noticing that your kids hate your guts, never noticing that you actually hate yourself even more than your kids hate your guts. And that's a terrible thing. It's a terrible way to go through life. And you know I'm talking to you. You know, because we all had that. We've all looked in the mirror and hated our own guts at some time or another. You have, and so have I. Okay, whether you're a good person or not, put 2 and 2 to 2 and 2 adds up to 4, okay? Yeah, you're probably going to retire. I mean, a lot of people save up for their retirement. I've known a lot of guys died in their early 60s right before retirement. Or they died the day after. Doesn't that just bite? You know, doesn't that suck? But everybody dies. Whether you retire or not, who knows? But everybody dies. What have you got waiting for you? What treasure did you put there? Okay, this has got nothing to do with religion. You build the treasure just like your RSP. You do all of it. Nobody else does any of it at all. It's all on you. Always has been, never could be any other way. Did you do it or didn't you? What have you got waiting for you on the other side? Do you have treasure in heaven, or do you have karmic debt? Are you setting yourself up for misery in your next life like you've never seen before because you were too dense to learn anything in this life? Maybe that's a mistake for you. That's my thought for today, all right? Comprehend 2 and 2 equals 4. My name is Scott McGurn, and thank you for your time.